So, John, if you were a burlesque performer, what would your stage name be?
What do you mean, if?
Is there something you're not telling me?
There's many things I've not taught you. I think maybe something like... It's got to be like something von something, doesn't it? Like, Dieter von Teese, or, so maybe Ginger von Sexy Pants.
That's ambitious, but okay.
Which part?
Sure. Part 2?
Dare you. Laboured von Adjective?
Sure, whatever works for you.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Box Set, a podcast where we pitch prequels, sequels and spin-offs to films that don't have any. I'm Harry, joining me as always is John.
Hello.
And special episode this week, 2 guests.
2 for the price of 1.
Never done it before. We'll see how this goes. Don't let us down, guys. So we have on Louise Ball.
Hello guys.
Who has previously appeared on our Garden State episode.
Thank you for having me again, it's a pleasure.
You're welcome. And Ollie Ajulo?
That is right.
Okay. From
Black Swan.
Black Swan. Sorry,
Classic episode, seminal episode, may I add?
we talked about it
Big
multiple
fan,
times
big
today. I haven't forgotten, it just slipped my mind.
Hello, thanks for having me again.
Okay, so this week the film is
Burlesque!
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Okay, so we kind of all chose Burlesque together. That was like a group,
And it was the right decision.
A group effort. Now, first question's up top. Who has seen this film before this last week or whatever?
Me and Louise have, because for listeners who don't know, in addition to being a friend of the podcast, Louise is one of my oldest and dearest friends. And way back in 2010, we went to see this film together in the cinema.
A little bit pissed.
We knew what we were getting into. We'd read the reviews, so we got drunk beforehand. It was everything we hoped it would be and more.
And people kept getting up and clapping and the funny bits and stuff.
It was not a busy cinema, and the only people at the screening, it was all little pockets of gays and girlfriends. That was the entire screening room.
Yeah.
And everyone was pissed. Everyone was cheering along with all the campy, silly things that happened. There's a scene in the film that we'll talk about later in which Cher did receive a standing ovation, led by me. It was
a great night. It was a great night.
Okay, cool. Ollie, what's your experience of this film then?
To be honest, John, I'm genuinely surprised the cinema wasn't busy.
Me too.
It is basically what I expected it to be. It was.
Wait, so my question was, have you seen it before recently?
No, I hadn't.
So this is your first time watching it?
Oh, this was the first time.
See,
I would
me
remember.
too.
Look at you, Ollie.
Me too.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you want.
I can't tell you. Nobody can tell you. You're going to make me believe that you belong up there, that you own that stage and that nobody's going to take it from you. That's the way it works. You want to show me something? Show me that.
All right. Which number do you want to see? I know every single one of them.
You know every single number.
Which one do you want to see?
Wagon wheel, what to see?
Okay, the first impressions. You two first, since you saw it 10 years ago, whatever it was, 8 years ago.
We had a whale of a time. What's not to like? Cher, Christina, terrible acting. The wig changes, the general ambiance of the film. It's great. I don't think it's meant to be Oscar nomination worthy.
You mean they weren't nominated?
But it's a really good laugh, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's not a great film. It's not an entirely successful film, but I would say the density of failure is high enough for it to be very entertaining.
Yeah, equally, though, it's not unwatchable. So, I think I'd lump it in with the good bad category rather than the oh my god, I just wish this would end.
Ollie, what are your thoughts on this film then?
I have many thoughts, and I've been desperate to share them.
Clearly.
I will share them on air. I think I agree it is silly, and I raised my eyebrow a number of times through sheer confusion of what I was watching, I would put it in The Boy Next Door.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd put it
we
in
said
that that's
Yeah.
the category I'd put it in for many reasons. But yeah, so I think it was fun to watch, and it's good for a podcast like this.
Yeah.
It's got good pace, like the Boy
Yeah.
Next Door does. It doesn't really
Yeah.
lag. It's got like boom, 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 boom. Like,
I would never watch this film sober. I'd say that. Like,
yeah. So
it's definitely a film to revisit.
just really quickly, John turned up to rewatch this with me on Friday night, and he walked in and I said, "Oh, John, would you like a cider?" And he said, "Well, for God's sakes, I'm not watching this thing sober."
And we didn't. It was great.
And we didn't, so.
Harry?
I really enjoyed this film.
Good. Oh.
But not
Did
even
it touch your heart?
But not even like it's a bad film that I really enjoyed. No, I just flat out enjoyed this
You were
film.
in it. Yeah.
I get it. I think
Crazy
you got,
bitch.
I imagine you grew up in a small town. You wanted to see the big lights.
No,
Did you relate?
he identified.
Is Christina
That's
you?
why I came to Leeds. I wanted to find Cher. The Yorkshire Cher.
Hang on, is that John?
I think it's you.
Oh, sweetie, thank you.
I did some research into this film because this film was quite a big flop when it came out. It was shown, yeah, it was not well received. I know, yeah, very sad.
I can't imagine it.
Its Oscar hopes were dashed early on.
God, poor Cher.
Because this is like obviously this is a star vehicle for Christina Aguilera, who at the time was a big star, and it was Cher's big comeback. She'd not done a film in quite a while. And yeah, I did a bit of research. This film was written and directed by a gay man, one gay man, and I couldn't find any other work that he'd done before or since as a director. Like, I don't know how he got the job, but this might be a controversial statement, but I think somebody needed to step in. I think he just lost his mind.
I think a number of people needed to step in.
But I can see see what happened though. I can see like I don't know how he got the job, but okay. So this gay man gets the chance to direct a musical with Cher, Christina Aguilera, and a multi-million-dollar wig budget, and he just went nuts. Like,
No, we will talk about the wigs.
We will.
in a minute,
Excuse
because
me,
that
there's
is a
a name
whole
for that on this
section.
podcast.
we'll
Thank
get
you.
to wig watch.
Oh gosh, I was on Wig Watch. But do you think he really directed this, or was this a Cher Christina competition and he was caught in the crossfire?
Very possibly. That does often happen with big stars and egos, and yeah. I mean, Christina Aguilera, she cannot act.
She's a mess. I need to talk about the beginning.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Am I supposed to believe that Christina Aguilera works in a cafe?
Yeah.
Her name's Ali, sweetie.
Sorry, Ali.
And she's the girl
Quotation
next door.
marks. Who
She's the,
she was fully made up.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where she found that wig, but it was sitting on her head. It wasn't
Those very
on
severe
properly.
bangs. Yeah.
And she's supposed to be down on her luck, even though she's made up to the point of looking almost like a mannequin.
She looks like
I'm
a drag
sick of
queen in this
working
film.
long hours. I want to hit the big city. And it's just like, what is happening here? The boss wasn't bothered. They were like, oh yeah, bye, we won't miss you.
I was really fascinated by that character actress who was like, I don't know, like Sandy or something. Like, it was like, my son's bike can wait. You go live your dreams. Like, who are you? Like,
She wanted her gone.
I think that was it, yeah.
Ali was a nightmare. And
What about that little bike for little Bobby or wherever it was? Like, this is such bullshit.
yeah.
Like,
I found Christina Aguilera's character in this film to be utterly unsympathetic at all times. I never rooted for her. She always seemed like an entitled nightmare.
yeah, because at one point, like, so straight away she's like, "Oh, what about that bike for little Bobby?" And then the next, in like the same breath, that woman's like, "Oh, that bike can wait till Christmas." And she's like, "Yeah, sure, actually, I'll take that extra $20 because I'm on my way to Hollywood, bitch."
that wasn't the thing. The child's name wasn't Bobby. The child's name was Mark, probably. She's like, oh yeah, this woman keeps calling my son Bobby. Bye.
You don't even know me, though. You don't even know me.
I don't have a son. That's the other lady.
But one of our favourite early bits is, because it leaps straight in. Like, there's no
Oh, yeah.
kind of sense of
0
where
to
they
100,
are.
0 to 100.
You don't know where they are. Like, they could be in any town in the USA. Like,
Anywhere.
I mean, they're on a backlot studio because the green screened, like, you know, weather-beaten sunset against the back road with the little dust bowl. It looks so phony. But Christina, like, quits her job, and then the next scene she's getting the bus to Hollywood. And we laughed really hard when she goes to the bus driver. She's like, "Can I have a bus ticket to LA, is it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bus ticket to LA, and he goes, "Single or return," and she goes, What do you think? What do you think? You know, it's like, you must be joking.
you
right?
Sorry, but the
kidding?
inflection was, what do you think? Like,
If I was that guy, I'd be like,
I don't know your
so
life.
is that a yes or a no?
yeah, so me and John were like, so you go to the National Express station and leave
bus station.
Yeah.
Ticket to Bradford, please. Return on one way. What do you think?
I really want to try it. Like,
We can all do it now.
yeah.
Ticket to Bradford.
Dewsbury, please.
Took
One
Bobby's
way.
bike money to bought the ticket.
I'm actually crying.
So
I like how we're like 5 seconds into the film.
Yeah.
Amazing film.
So Christina goes to LA to follow chase her dreams,
Yeah.
and I mean, as I said, she cannot act. Her walking around the streets confused what direction to take acting is one of the best things
She
I've ever
was
seen in my life.
confused. Like, she looked confused the whole way through. She's supposed to be struggling. Like, this is the thing that
And the
confused
struggle
me.
is real.
She was supposed to be struggling. No money, hiding the money in the toilet. She didn't look like someone who was struggling because she had enough money to get her makeup done. She had enough money to do all these things. I'm just like,
Well,
Yeah,
finances
it's
in this film are very questionable.
oh, we will be talking about finances
Yeah.
because, yeah, we'll get to that point.
Yeah.
But let's just say they didn't need that cash injection.
No. It's true. So she finds herself in this club, which from the outside looks like it's this big. It's like this tiny little back door. and she
Also,
steps
I've got to
in.
say, the first sort of musical sequences, it is very, very small.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little intimate place. And then if you skip ahead to the very end of the movie,
End.
like it
They've
is.
got the lights.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Putting like whole words out and everything.
Yeah, like is it a TARDIS? Like what's
It's like
happened
Narnia,
there?
yeah.
But where was it? It was clearly some back alley.
Yeah, it looked really weird
And
from the outside.
like it had the sign that was broken, and then the woman's there. We won't talk about the race. The fact that she's called Cocoa Puff.
Yeah. This film's solitary black character is called Coco.
Yeah.
It has like one line.
I'm pulling a face for the listeners who can't say because she's called Cocoa Puff. We will move on.
This film is very sensitive, very woke.
And then so she's gone to the big city, and this is her dream.
Well, it seems like she decides it's her dream when
All
she
from
walks in.
from a look from Cocoa Pop.
We have to call her Cocoa Pops. We're going to call her Cocoa
It's
Pops
so
because that's what
wrong,
they
it's so
wanted to
wrong.
call her.
Sorry, so all from a look from Coco, she decides to go into the club.
Yeah. And then she spends all of her money. to
Also,
go-
can we talk about that look? Because that look was
kinda
never
like,
explained.
Do you want to
Because
sleep with me or do you want to come inside?
that look was come on over. That
Yeah.
wasn't come work here. It was a come work with me.
Yeah, maybe that's just we just didn't see that. That's a side plot we never saw. Like, what's Coco's deal? Like, what's Coco's story?
But I think that might have been the acting.
Possible, yes, yeah.
I think
But
so.
yeah, it was definitely winking eye suggestion.
It was a wink.
like-
Yeah, it was a come hither look.
yeah.
But then she goes into this burlesque club and she's immediately dazzled by the glamour of it all. And
Don't forget Alan Cummings' character.
yes, Alan Cummings in this film.
Yes, great casting.
I mean, he's in this film? Question mark? Like,
I mean, the bits that he's in,
Yeah.
I think he's great. Also, that man has got a face that is.
I don't understand why him and Stanley Tucci, when they kind of are the same person, why wasn't that just one character?
And Peter Gallagher.
Yeah,
Like,
they could have combined all. There are so many characters in this.
oh, he was the husband.
Peter Gallagher was the husband. Yeah.
Oh, he's such a dish.
But I was like, you know, when like normally they have like the big stars and then like a load of people you don't know. They had a lot of people
thought
who
it
were
was cute that there was a
middle
lot of
tier,
stars.
decent acts, and I'm just thinking, well, they paid a lot of money because these people just keep popping up.
That's what I mean. And throughout the film, they keep adding more. It was like a Marvel film
Yeah.
or something. It's like, it's like the Avengers. Like,
That's where this film needs to go.
you're introducing this plot line
God.
now. Like,
Burlesque Infinity War.
please tell me that's not what you've done.
Please tell me no.
But it did feel very like these characters kept popping up, and you're just like, why are you here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm this person. They didn't really know why they were there,
No.
and they were just like told to improv.
Well, everyone's wearing a lot of hats, like job-wise, because sometimes the waitresses are on the stage. Alan Cumming is taking tickets and also doing a whole routine. He smells a woman's vagina and makes a face.
Oh
It's,
yes.
Yeah.
I think to go back to the plot, what I loved about Christina's face when she walks in is it's literally like she's seen like a cave of wonders of like, you know, and it's this dingy shitty club with like some crappy act on the stage, and she's looking around like, oh my god,
It's called Cher, some
I was
crappy
going to say,
act.
isn't Cher the first
Yeah.
performance we see?
Yeah.
oh come on.
But also, she'd been in LA for a day.
Yeah.
Like, and she's already like her dreams have
It's less than a
plummeted
day.
so low.
It's less than a day. She's fresh off the coach, girl. Like
But also, she's like, oh, is this a strip club? She was still enamoured there. Then the guy's like, there's no one on the pole here. She's like, she looks disappointed.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what's happening?
You've got a little extra. Give it to the band.
Well, I mean, this is a big thing. Like, what is the act? What is the act in this club? Because it seems confused.
Well,
It's not burlesque.
What would you say the fact about Dita Von Teese?
Oh yeah, so Dita Von Teese, you know, the famous burlesque performer, she said she was asked to be in this film and she turned it down. And I've seen her being,
Of course she did.
yeah, and I've seen her interviewed, and she says now, you know, before the film came out and there was all of the hype around it, everyone's like, why are you not in this film? You should be part of this film. And then after the film came out, she'd just go to those same people and be like, you see, she understood, yeah, because this does not represent burlesque. There's no actual burlesque in this film.
There wasn't any.
Because burlesque is like nipple tassels and you know, it's tricks and, you know,
I mean, would all of it just been a bit too raunchy for what this film wanted to be?
Yeah, it's like PG-13, but it's like a mix of cabaret.
Which then asks the question: who is this film for?
Yeah,
'Cause
It was for Cher and Christina.
Other than those two, it's not for burlesque fans.
Yeah,
It wasn't for the other actors either.
It's not for the other actors. Like who's
Well,
going
I
to see a
think that's
film
where
called
it really
Burlesque?
fell short. Really, it's clearly like it's a film that revolves around the sort of Pussycat Dolls sort of modular of burlesque performance. It's not. It's not traditional in any way. It's very just of its time, and it's of that little bubble. And I think that's why like it's so funny and cute and kitsch to watch now. I think if it had been like kind of cool and really well done, it might have been quite passé now and like sort of looked upon it as just sort of like, oh, yeah, that was a thing then. But like now it's kind of like this weird, like like John was saying, kind of like The Room or whatever. It's like this weird old.
I was just
lame
like,
film.
who's walking into this bar and is pleased to sit down and watch a 70-year-old woman walk on stage and do a little turn. You know?
She looked like she was all the Cher lovers. Don't come for me. But the whole thing just looked. It didn't look great.
No, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. I think she's the best
That
actress.
cooch was high.
To be fair, I think in terms of the actors, Cher was in the top half in terms of ability.
Yeah.
Because we saw a range of ability.
Not necessarily a range of movement, but a range of
Particularly eyebrow movement.
As I said this while we were watching it, so I do love, you know, my love for Cher is well documented, and I think she's a fabulous actress. There is, as time has gone by, I noticed it even more in Mamma Mia 2, but in this, it was already happening with this. It's almost as if she's doing ventriloquism without the dummy. It's like she's talking out the side of her mouth like this. It's like, it's supposed to be like, you also manage to start taking a pint and still talk, or like, you know, got like, yeah, it's all very like.
But to be fair, Christina didn't have much facial expression either.
No.
Yeah, and she's a lot younger, girl.
That was just more. I think that wasn't so much Botox as just vapidness and just general lack of talent. But
You'd be
But
surprised,
also
I think.
the other thing, it's called burlesque. The other dancers were not featured at all.
no. Well, they weren't doing burlesque either. They were doing this kind of weird, like cabaret stuff, like lip syncing to, you know, show
But
tunes.
not even just that. Like, we didn't find anything out about them.
We've got a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I'd have to disagree with on that, oddly.
We got Georgia with her pregnancy.
No, we're ahead of ourselves. So
That
she's
struggles.
we've got to go back. We've got to go back. So she's in the club. She's blinded by the lights, and
Literally.
And she sees
she's
Cher.
seen Cher.
Yeah. who sing, and Cher sings the first of 17 songs for burlesque in the title. Like, there's so many songs that work in the word burlesque into them. Like, this is the first one. Like,
they wanted it clear that this was burlesque,
the whole film
because
was
you might not be clear from what you're saying. Burlesque, not cabaret.
Yeah, so Cher's doing this rather macabre number, and
with an incredibly high crotch, like on the pant area.
You keep going back to that. It's like very high. Yeah.
And so she decides she must get a job right away, Christina. So she goes backstage, and she asks Cher for a job.
Brazenly.
Well, that's what. She's like, I've just literally walked in here. Within 20 minutes, she's asked for a job, and she gets told to come and audition, which I think is a very reasonable thing to tell a person. Cher says, if you want to get a job,
She
in audition.
fobs her off a bit.
She fobs her off, yeah, but
in a polite way. She's not like, get out of here, what you doing here?
Christina's crazy in it.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll get to that.
She's so rude to people in this film. Like,
Yes.
she's so
When
rude.
she came straight out calling that woman a man, like she came straight at her neck, like no reason.
Yeah, Kristen Bell was being a bit sassy, but she wasn't being that horrible. And then Christine was like, "You're a dude."
The thing is, with this film, generally a lot of things you see it coming a
Just
mile
like
off.
saying-
That man line, I didn't see it coming. I
it
thought, where's she
wouldn't-
going
it
with
would not
this?
fly in 2018 either.
No,
Like,
you can't get away with it.
absolutely not.
But also, I think it was Christina's acting, because you thought, oh, she's being nice, and then
Yeah.
we was like, did she just call her a man?
Yeah, the delivery isn't really there for it. Yeah,
It's like-
it's a bad joke.
That
delivered poorly.
added to the rudeness, because I was like,
Totally.
well, actually, I'd want to see her fail too. She
Yeah.
was nasty.
Make
Well,
friends and influence people.
That's
right?
another thing that we'll get to.
Sorry, I'm just so keen to talk about this.
You are. It just builds up so much over the first beginning period that so she gets knocked back for that, and then
Well, she talks.
She
her
gets
way
knocked
to
back, calls the woman a man, and then goes. We can't forget that bit. And
then she gets a job as a waitress because the waiter behind the bar
fancies her.
who fancies the love interest in his eyeliner and his hat.
but she just
I like-
starts
I like
taking
at this
drinks.
point. I like at
Yeah.
this point as though he runs the place.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, you can work here, or like, oh no, you can't work here, but you do. Oh, okay, you can. Yeah, you can work here. That's fine. That's no issue. And then I love he gets called on it.
Yeah.
Like Stanley Tucci's like, who's running this place? Yeah.
No, he doesn't get called on it, because a real boss would be like, "No, your place, bartender. Like, why are you giving people jobs?
Fair.
You know what?
Yeah, and
She's got
also,
your
like-
job. Get out.
Who's gonna
she
pay
just started
her?"
picking up trays. It doesn't really fly. Like, if I was running a bar and some girl started picking up trays, I'd be like, could you not? Sit down, please.
You know what? If it was that easy to get a job, you know what? Why don't I go into a law firm and start practicing law?
I just turned up with the GPs and I said, look, love, that's a baruka. There's some ointment for it.
I'm
you know.
showing passion. What?
Isn't that the girl that was backstage yesterday?
I think so.
Hey, Jack, what's she doing here?
She really wanted a job, and so she is our new waitress.
And when did I make you head of personnel?
She just picked up a tray, started working.
Really?
Oh, her name is Allie.
So wait, so the guy with the eyeliner gives her a job, even though he...
Has no power to give her a
And
job.
also, the whole issue of this place is the money, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just giving jobs left, right, and centre.
So
Exactly.
then Tess is like, don't go behind my back again.
Yeah, because Nikki's always late as well, and they're like, "Oh, Nikki, you're just doing Nikki." Like, yeah, I don't think Cher should be running this club. I don't think she's a very responsible business manager.
Hell no.
They're
the
not.
worst.
No one's responsible,
Yeah.
because
Stanley
we'll talk
Tucci?
about it a bit more. But
Stanley Tucci?
this place has no money,
It has
yet
no
they're
money.
just
Well, I mean,
whatever.
this is the thing, because also later on in the film, one of the main plot drivers is that Christina Aguilera, because she has this fabulous voice.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of Christina Aguilera's voice, but I understand that she's talented. She's going to sing live. She wants to sing live, and they're all like, no, that can't happen. We only lip sync in this club. So why have they got a full live band just sitting there the whole time? Like,
Because they don't know how to deal with money.
this
We
club
will
is shitting money
I
on
feel
a
like
nightly
we've
basis.
skipped
On
a plot.
lights,
We've skipped a
on-
plot.
Okay.
So she's gone from working in the bar, and then Nikki resident druggy alcoholic.
Yeah, who doesn't seem like she's that out of control. Like,
Yeah, but they really just
didn't-
like, oh my god, she can't go on stage, and Cher's all like, you're not going on like that, Vicky. and then, Ali pops up out of nowhere, like just like the rest
because
of the
she
whole
keeps
film.
popping up,
Yes.
like not in her, like
Yeah.
minding her
He pops
business.
up, he pops up, and then Cher's just like, well, fine, you can go on then, and then so she goes on, does Nikki's number, and then all of a sudden, she's part of the troupe.
Well,
we've skipped quite a bit.
Yeah.
But one thing I do
Well,
want
then
to
we
say.
here all night if we do it.
No,
all.
but I do want to say something about what you like. Then Christina seems to be like, "Oh, Nikki, why are you upset with me? You called me a man, and now you've taken my part."
But apparently she's the bitch, y'all.
They really tried to make Nikki.
That is
and they never explained her alcoholism.
No.
Like, we see her take a couple of shots and Cher's like, oh, you can't drink that burlesque. And, like, basically, that's...
She didn't seem that bad. She seemed like she maybe had like a little bit too much to drink every now and again.
She had a shot here and there.
She
Leave
wasn't
her
exactly
be.
Amy Winehouse. That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
I felt quite uncomfortable watching it because I was like, God, if Nikki's an alcoholic, what the hell am I? Like,
So, wait, so she got the job and then she's waitressing because we know Christina. This is the other thing. Christina and Jennifer Lopez have the same... what's it called? Cinematographer. Because every shot of Christina was a beauty shot.
Oh, yeah.
Even when at the beginning when she's doing her to show she's got talent and she pulls the chair and she's singing. It's like, you're supposed to be serving coffees.
Yeah.
What's this? And there's never a shot of her looking rough and struggling.
Oh yeah, the lighting. I mean, Cher is never seen in daylight. Cher is always in a darkened room. It's always in a darkened room with shadows across.
John, I can't deal with you. Always in a darkened room.
it's sepia, like.
Are you saying that Cher is a vampire?
She may be. Is she ever in daylight in this film?
That'd be great casting.
No.
Cher is a vampire. I'd take that.
Always in the
That'd be
dark.
great.
Yeah, but it feels like I don't know what the time scale of this film is. Like, how much time do you think passes between the beginning of this film and the end of this film?
I think maybe 5 days.
Yeah, it could be anything from a week to like a year. There's no sense.
We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, this Ali, she's decided she's working at the club, even though it's got no money. Then she's serving tables, but not really because she's too busy doing choreography while she's walking around. And no one seems bothered that she's not doing her job. And then she just decides, I'm going to audition, I'm going to be on stage.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny. She gets this. She looks out and gets given this job, as the waitress that the bartender gives her. And then within like an hour, she's like, God damn it, why can't I be on the stage? It's like, fucking pay your dues, love. Like, she's so entitled. Like,
She's very entitled.
And then when she's doing all that, her apartment gets robbed.
oh yes.
And then she just goes to that man's house who she thought was gay. He was not gay.
He was wearing
If
eyeliner.
one slick of eyeliner is all it takes, then my gaydar has been way off.
And also, even if she thought he was gay, she's skimpily dressed in his flat. And then
Oh yeah, I should put some pants on now. Like, okay, so you just didn't put pants on.
This
in
film
front
has
of
a
people?
very strange attitude towards sexuality in general. I feel like because there's all that. There's also Stanley Tucci who plays.
This is the worst.
Stanley Tucci who plays like Cher's best gay friend. He's playing the exact same character he played in The Devil Wears Prada, like literally identical. But yeah, he's gay, but he's constantly feeling up every woman in the room. Like the amount of times he like grabs someone's arse or like gropes Cher's breast, and it's like, and there's that one crazy drunken night back in the 80s when
they threw that in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really though, like me and John were just saying, like, because obviously we're gay BBFs. Like, this is like.
It's not appropriate.
It's not a thing. Like, it's not a thing. Like, we don't have to sleep with each other to be best friends. But apparently that's like a massive trope that, like, the gay man always sleeps with the straight woman and is like, what a crazy night. Like,
there was that crazy night in Dewsbury, Louise. Come on. Back in 08. Come on.
But the message they're trying to say is that
she's so amazing. That
not just
he
that,
would
but that
crack on for one night.
every woman wants what they really want is their gay best friend to be their boyfriend. That's what the message that they're sending across. Because it's weird, like even how
John is everything my boyfriend isn't. Like, and that is a massive compliment to John.
Okay, you could compliment one person with that there.
But I think the thing with this film was it was trying to pack too many storylines.
Oh, God, yes.
It was just, wait a minute, so she's a drunk, but we're not really seeing her. And then the whole drink driving thing, they really didn't.
You crazy bitch!
Oh, they really came out and dropped it. Yeah, like,
She just smashed the glass.
that was the bit where, okay, so we're jumping around now, but yeah, there's a scene where Cher and Kristen Bell have a whole big fight. The scene where Cher crowbars that...
I love how Cher just opens the boat, has a crowbar right on the top, just ready and waiting.
She's done this before. Yeah. But that was the bit that got the standing ovation in the cinema.
Yeah.
When she smashed that windscreen. The gays, we were on our feet. We were like, "This is what we fucking came for."
It was just so. That scene was so bizarre. She just thought, "I'm gonna smash your window."
Yeah, and also in that scene, okay, so
I love how at this point we couldn't even follow the plot, even if we wanted to.
I don't think it's
Sorry,
but Kristen Bell's like, "We built this club up together, Cher." Or Tess, whatever she's called. I'm just gonna call
Tess.
her Cher.
Yeah, shit.
So I was like, "Are Kristen Bell and Cher the same age in this? Like, are they like back? It seems like they're friends from back when. Like,
I don't know. Awkward.
There's so much wasn't explained.
yeah." And then Kristen Bell says in this fight, she says, "By the way, I slept with Peter Gallagher."
Vince.
I didn't, Vince, and didn't tell you. And then at the end of the film, she's like, "I just said that to her. You didn't really do it." Like, I was like, "What? What is that?" I was just kidding.
That bit, because they made that a real plot line.
Yeah, for
and
that-
then when she saw, is it Vince?
I think it's Vince. Eyebrows McGee.
I was ready for Cher to like come for him, and then she goes, "Oh, I'm setting you free."
Yeah.
It's like,
Never came up.
what about the side chick he slept with? Oh, it wasn't real.
No, she's just a serial liar.
So we have jumped around.
I think
We
it's...
absolutely have.
Yeah.
Harry, bring some order.
I didn't know who Vince was.
That she
like when Kristen Bell said, "I slept with Vince," and I was like, "Wait, Stanley Tucci? Like, why does this?
I did a
apparently
casting.
it's possible. Yeah.
Why does this matter?"
Yeah.
Fine. Fine. I quit!
I'm glad. Nikki, don't drive.
By the way, I slept with Vince the night after your honeymoon. You crazy bitch!
She moves in with
Jack.
Jack, yeah. I'm glad you know these characters' names because
I don't like Jack.
Because, like, after one night of her, like, having her partner breaking into, he's just like, "No, you're staying here, and that's that." And then she's like, "Okay."
It's like red flag, red flag, red
Jack's a
flag.
creep.
He is
I'll
a creep.
say it, and I'll keep
Yeah,
saying
he
it.
is creepy, and it's not just that eyeliner, let me tell you.
You know who the biggest, most hard done by character in this film is for me? His
The
poor
audience.
fiance. Well, the audience, yeah. But his poor fiance. Poor, what is it, Diana?
Natalie.
Poor Natalie. Poor villainized Natalie.
Come on, tell it.
She just went to so she's out of town doing a play, so she's pursuing her dream, she's being proactive. Apparently that makes her the biggest bitch in the world, and she deserves to be cheated on. And yeah.
We're jumping around anyway, so we
Yeah.
might as well just continue.
But you were talking about the bit where they move in, so
yeah, well,
Yeah,
so she moves in. Oh, you've got a girlfriend, and then he's on the phone. Ali did not seem bothered.
No.
And she continued. She's like, "Why don't you make the move? What about his girlfriend?"
And this girl's reputation is mud because Stanley Tucci's just like, "Oh, did she talk about her and her and her and her and her?" It's like, well, Christina's not exactly Miss Charisma.
And also, for all the talent this Jack apparently has, he's a bartender.
Yeah.
So his music can't be that great.
How is he affording that flat on a bartender's
How
wage?
is anyone affording
To
anything?
be fair, Cher might be paying him like $100,000 a night because she is just like throwing. around.
So when the bit when Jack says, "Oh, come stay with me because the girlfriend's staying another 3 months. I need to afford to pay this flat." That
Oh,
was
yeah,
okay.
that was it.
And he goes, "Oh, it's $600 a month." And Christina's like, "Oh, I can afford it." Wait a minute.
Are you still keeping your old flat?
2 days ago, your flat was broken into, and what looked like $40 in like a polythene bag in the toilet was stolen. Now all of a sudden, there was no money in that. It looked like
Cher is
$40
a
in one.
generous employer.
Now she can afford $600 a month.
Apparently so.
What are they paying? Can I work at that burlesque bar? Because they're paying lots of money.
She's in various states of undress.
That's because she gets
in
really
the apartment.
That's like she gets really freaked out when she finds out he's not gay. She's like, "You're not gay," and then she's
I'll
like,
put pants
"I'll put
on."
pants on." There,
Yeah.
like I had my vagina out the whole time. Like,
I mean, and I could just state for the record that as having John as my gay BBF, that is not a thing. Like I although in the middle of summer, I may have dressed quite inappropriately at one point. But still not really a thing.
No, I don't like generally in any like they do that in films as well. Like with girlfriends, you know, you're all in your bras and pants and just running
All the
around.
time, yeah.
People don't do that.
No,
so if
we
I'm
don't.
going to
We've
a
got
stranger's
fluffies on.
house, male or female, I keep my clothes on. Like that's just a general. I think that's polite. I don't walk around scantily dressed and then oops.
she's always got like the shoulder out. Like
She
Yeah,
loved that
she does those
shoulder
American
out.
shoulder
She
thoughts, yeah.
loved that shoulder out.
And no bra, definitely no bra. Like those nips, yeah, they were present.
So
All that being said, I don't think they had any chemistry.
Oh no, God,
None
no.
whatsoever. I did not believe in their
She
romance.
had no chemistry in any sense.
Yeah, to be
of
fair, Cher had,
She
yeah,
did.
Christina had no chemistry with the set, with any of the other actors. It was just like she was just doing her own thing.
No.
because basically, even when she started, like you know, when they left her when they went out for pizza, it's like I would leave you too.
Yeah.
I'm not going for pizza with you, Ali,
No.
because you called our friend a man.
Yeah.
So
And you stole her job in like one day, so
She doesn't seem like she's a girl's girl. You know what I mean? Like,
so back to the plot.
okay.
She's decided she's gonna sing.
Yeah. Well, her audition to be a dancer, though, we didn't talk about the audition.
Oh my God, the audition.
Terrible.
Okay.
She couldn't dance.
Okay.
She could not dance.
But
can
is it in the audition when Nikki turns the?
No. That's
no,
that's
that was
great
the
scene.
singing.
No, she auditions to be a dancer first.
Because they're auditioning dancers, and then she just decides because Ali could do what she wants.
Yeah.
Christina, let's just call her Christina. Christina could do what she wants. She gets up on stage and then starts dancing, and Cher's like, no thanks. She starts screaming like,
Yes.
I want.
It's like she's Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate
No,
Factory.
she actually says, "What do you want?" or something like that, doesn't she?
In that tone of voice.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
I want you to own the stage.
Yeah.
She can't dance.
Watusi.
Wagon wheel?
Wagon
Oh,
wheel
was it
Watusi.
wagon
wheel
wheel?
Watusi. Like, I don't know what that is, but she couldn't dance it.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
There was not one dance scene that she was any good.
And then you've got Stanley Tucci and Cher just like, she's pretty good. She's yeah.
And then the other girls looked threatened. I'd have a raised eyebrow like,
Yeah.
what is
Why?
happening?
So anyway, she gets the part, but then Nikki plays a terrible trick on her.
Oh yeah, because
that
they're doing a
backfires.
routine, and Nikki, to get revenge for all of the justifiable rudeness, Nikki pulls the plug while she's performing. So suddenly, like,
Chris
all
the DJ, let's not forget.
oh poor Chris the DJ.
They crowbarred a black man into this film. They crowbarred him
He
in.
know
did
what?
a great job, can I just
I
say?
feel sorry for Chris the DJ.
He's just doing his
Me
job.
too,
He's
babe.
just turning up, trying to get paid. Yeah.
Like he was told, like, oh, Cher says you got to do this, and then he's like, okay, Cher, what do I do? She's
Tess
like,
wants
what?
you know, he's like, the Tess wants you now, and he's like, okay, sure, I'll go talk to Tess, and then Nikki's just like, get on the mixing desk, she's
Yeah.
fucking shit up, you know.
Also, I was wondering how they were going to get Christina singing in this in, how they were going to make this a... And they didn't manage it to make it a plausible...
Oh no. Well, I mean,
because all the power's out, and then all of a sudden, surround sound...
yeah.
So what song is it? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. In the beginning, I know.
Just make a note, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Let's just...
Because the first scene of the film, not to jump back, but the first scene of the film is we get her when she closes up that cafe, whatever, and then she just lets out this. It's the sound of like a dying animal.
Tess, what's up?
What the hell are you doing back here?
Nikki said you were looking for me.
Nikki said, what is
Nikki
going
just
on,
told me.
Dave?
Lower the curtain. Come on, let's go.
Hold it. Raise the curtain.
And then other people are like, yeah! They start dancing. The chair's like, I'm going to make the show about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then suddenly Cher's like, I could charge $50 a ticket. Like,
50...
How much? What
Who is the accountant in this place? Where's the money? Where's the money?
what was she charging me for?
I mean, quick question: how much does it cost to actually see Cher, the real Cher, live today?
Hundreds of dollars.
Is it,
Hundreds of dollars.
okay, just checking. It's not.
I
less than
reckon
$50.
I reckon that was Cher being rude to Christina.
Sure, yeah.
Cher, $50. I wouldn't pay that to see Christina.
We can do a Groupon. Like,
Ticket to see Christina. But no, so all of a sudden
Nikki's prank, it backfires,
it
right?
backfires.
Because she's amazing. Cher's just like, that's my star. She's going to save the club because what we haven't mentioned so far is that the club is going under.
And this is where we need to pause.
Okay.
Because we need to talk fiscal responsibility. Because you're telling me they're hiring people left, right, centre. The bartender can afford a $600 a month apartment. Those light bulbs eat electricity. The costumes, they're just...
What
But
is
they've
Stanley
not got money
Tucci's
to
job?
paint the walls.
Yeah.
They've got money to fix the toilet.
Yeah. They've got a full live band just sitting there every night, cooling their heels. Like,
And then that guy, the Viv, who's always sweaty and stressed,
Yeah.
is like, the money's there, just cut back on some things. You know, don't use as much electricity.
yeah. But what is Stanley Tucci's job? What is he? Is he costume designer? Like,
Yeah, so he's costume and
throws
organising
the
the
costumes
dancers
at
and just
people.
general gay.
yeah. He's this, basically, his job is general gay.
Yes.
And then Alan Cumming is backup gay. Like, you see,
But was he? Because his scenes were the weirdest. You'd be like, Christina's just sung a song, and then all of a sudden these two weird women are like doing the splits and sticking their vagina in his face, and he's like, "Oh, I like an apple."
yeah.
Like,
It was very odd. It was very, very odd.
the pace of this film was very strange.
It was. Have you seen the film Cabaret with Liza Minnelli?
No.
Okay, it's like he's playing the MC, but he's not. But if the MC had been cut out of the whole film, it's very bizarre. But,
It was very, yeah.
okay, so speaking of like random scenes that don't make any sense, there's the bit in the film which is so obviously been crowbarred in when Cher is feeling down because she's lost all her money. Yeah, you know.
Oh
you
my
know.
god, you know!
And then
Yeah.
poor old DJ Steve, whatever he's called, is like, I got the lyrics, I got the backing tracks to this new song.
Chris, his name's Chris.
Sorry.
Can we please not just gloss over
What's his
one
name?
of the
Chris?
most amazing characters?
Chris, sorry, so DJ Chris has got the backing tracks to the new song they've been working on, and Cher just gets on stage. She's like, "I'll sing it now." It's like,
That lighting was ready.
yeah.
I like how it's a rehearsal as well.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, Cher can just perform this. It's like, oh, let's first try through this, if that's all right. Knocks it out of the park.
Oh yeah.
Like,
But again, at
What
what
was
point?
the song again? How does
You'll
it
never
go?
see the last of me. It's a big power ballad.
so is that for the audience of the club?
At what point is this appropriate to this show?
Yeah, like where's that coming in?
Like, yeah. So
And of course, there's the lighting. There's the fact that Cher was obviously perfectly ready, and the fact that the DJ at the very end
She didn't even do any vocal warm-ups.
oh no. Yeah.
that too. Yeah,
She was like, "Oh, I'm so tired." Whoa.
but I would just loved it if at the end the guy just whatever his name was, I've forgotten.
DJ Chris.
DJ Chris, if he said, "Oh, could you work on that second verse?"
Yeah.
Ooh,
You were
that was a bit
flat
sharp.
there, yeah. But also, there's something like at the beginning of the film, like Christina's whole thing is, "Oh, you need to sing live," and Cher's like, "We never sing live. That's not what we do here." So she's singing live there.
Oh,
Well, she's not, but
Oh
she-
no! It's always like no one listens live apart from Cher.
Oh, okay, right.
No, I feel like what was happening in this film, because Christina and Cher are two big stars. They gave one script to Christina, another script to Cher, and they said, "This is the film. This is the film," and then they just pieced the film together because this doesn't make any sense.
True, yeah.
I mean, my biggest gripe with this film was that at the end of it, I'm sure you guys agree, Cher and Christina did not sing together.
True, they never really get a
Yeah,
chance. No.
thank you. Can
What
I just
was
say
my
Harry's
biggest
totally
gripe?
right? Yeah.
What happened? Okay, was it a big gripe? But what
No,
happened?
that was the waste of money.
But what happened there?
You paid for them both. You didn't get them together.
No, it was the way the club wasted money. That last scene where they've got those expensive lights, how all of a sudden the club's grown and they can fit burlesque
It's doubled in size. Yeah.
in. But I'm just like, well, I can see where the money's coming from. Like, you're just going to be back in debt.
This is a sticking
I agree
plaster.
with
It's
Harry.
not a solution.
They should have sang together.
Yeah, like it's
No question.
It's a film starring these two major singers, 1.5 major singers,
Harry.
But yeah, no.
Harry.
No? What?
Do you think these two were ever going to sing together?
I did.
Oh, bless you. It's why the film tanked. These two were not going to sing together because Christina was not going to be upstaged by Cher.
Oh, hey, Tess. I got that track you wanted to rehearse for tomorrow night's show.
Jesus. Honey, I'm sorry. I got a million things on my mind and I completely forgot.
It's all good. If it's too late now, I guess I can come in early tomorrow morning.
No. Let's just get it out of the way.
You want a spot?
Yeah.
Have we covered everything?
Well, we've not got.
We've not covered most of it.
We've got most of the plot.
We have not actually talked almost at all about wigs.
No. Well, we're gonna get
Wig watch.
Wig watch.
Oh, we should record a proper wig watch. We should get you to do a proper wig watch thing actually.
I think that was just
Wig watch.
that right there is our section.
To be fair, Winona needs to speak to the wig people because the wigs were better than the Winona ones.
The wig people.
The people who were in charge of the wigs.
It's like the shoe people,
But from that first scene when Christina's in that cafe, I thought this is gonna be epic for wigs because that thing looked heavy and just sat on her head. It wasn't.
It was that amazing bit where Sally Tucci's like, "Oh, we should cut your hair," and she's just like, "No, I'm not cutting my hair." So they just like whack a wig on her, and then like everyone's like, "Yeah, you look well fit." Like,
but that was the thing. Yeah, he says we can put you in a wig. She's already wearing a wig.
You gotta tear away on your tear away.
You just reminded me of the most infuriating bit. Okay. So this alley.
This alley.
She's struggling in some small town. I'm gonna make it big in a big city. She then goes to the Burlesque bar and now is making loads of money waiting on tables.
Sure.
She complains, I want to sing. They get her to dance and sing. And then Stanley Tucci says, oh, why don't you cut your hair? No.
Yeah, she's so uncooperative. Yeah.
You will cut your hair.
You'll be great.
And you'll get up there and sing. Yeah. What? That wasn't a request. What? This girl can do whatever she wants.
She has such an attitude problem in this
because
film.
People allow her. Yeah. You say she's entitled because people allow her to be. What is this rubbish?
Privilege. This film is
it's privilege.
Yeah, it's privilege next level.
I want to sing on stage. Yeah. I don't want to cut my hair. I want this person who's got a girlfriend, and I want it all now.
It honestly, she's Veruca Salt. It is like, I want the world, I want the whole world.
Because we couldn't tell like the pacing of the film, when she's getting annoyed at that guy, I'm not going to be around forever. Yeah. Didn't you meet yesterday?
Exactly, yeah. Well, she has the nerve to get pissed off. So she moves into this guy's house, this guy's flat, basically steals this other poor woman's man from, while she's away. Then they break up, and basically the girlfriend comes, the fiance, not even the girlfriend, the fiance, the fiance comes back, and they're having an argument, and he's like, Ali, can you just leave while I, have this breakup with my fiance? And she has the nerve to be pissed off.
But Ali's also kind of seeing this Marcus guy who is the baddie at the club who wants to buy the club and keeps trying to buy the club off.
But he's not a baddie.
No, but that's how they're paying him. So he keeps turning up to meetings
He's quite creepy though.
Yeah.
No.
He keeps.
Yeah.
He's convincing Vince that he needs to sell the club, and he's making Vince say it to Tess. So.
That's me.
But then she sees his master plans.
Oh yeah, he hides his plans just in plain sight, like in the middle of his apartment.
No, but he actually ends up trying to impress her with them.
Oh sure,
doesn't he? And then she's just like, no, I'm not impressed.
No, but he goes, oh, I'm not a bad guy. She goes, you're not a bad guy. You're just not the right one. He's not a bad guy. So you're telling me you left your small town to make it big, and you're about to hit the jackpot. And then you go off to the loser who can't break up with his fiancé, but you're cheating on me.
No, I'm sorry, Annie, but she wants to keep singing, she wants to keep dancing, and he's about to leave that. Like, he's about to say... Like,
she wants to keep singing and dancing in the back alley burlesque.
I think she's got big fish, small pond syndrome.
Yeah.
She'll always be like the star of that club,
Yeah, because Jessica's all, $50 a ticket now. Yeah.
That Groupon money is coming through.
Where's the accountant? Like, no one knows how much money the club's...
We're really nearly there. So she goes back to Tess. She tells Tess Marcus's master plan.
Tess calls her a hoe.
Lets the other half know that she's onto the situation, and then Ali, wow, suddenly she becomes not just so much your stupid country bumpkin. She suddenly finds out what air rights are.
Oh, she suddenly becomes like a
lawyer, a miniature lawyer for 5 minutes.
Property law whiz, yeah.
And she goes over to the property developer across the street, and she lets him know about the air rights.
And he looks confused.
The property developer buys the air rights so that the top half of the building is safe, and that's where the film ends. It all is happily ever after.
The club is
bought out, and that's how they end up with the big, massive burlesque sign.
So that's where the money went. They've got out of financial debt and they buy Burlesque.
Yeah,
the letters.
I genuinely can't remember. Did the second property developer, did he buy air rights from Tess, or did he buy the?
We don't know.
Or did he buy the air rights just to block the other guy? In which case, this does not help Cher's financial situation.
No, because she doesn't own. She doesn't own the air rights.
No, she does because she owns the building. So he bought the air rights because she technically owns them. She's not sold them previously.
Okay.
So she makes a lot of money out of selling the air rights.
Very presumptuous.
That man now has the rights to everything above her property, which does not include her property. It does not include the ground rights.
Sure. Okay.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, this film doesn't fully explain, and I'm not an architect.
No.
Tess, I gotta talk to you.
You could knock. This is still my office for 48 hours.
Well, then you really need to hear what I have to tell you.
No, I don't. I am tired of talking. I am talked out.
This time, you're gonna hear me out.
I don't want to hear you out.
Do you ever listen to anything other than the sound of your own voice?
Talk.
Have you ever heard of air rights?
No, I've never heard of air rights. What are air rights?
You should definitely say okay drinking games like you always do.
Oh, I will.
Oh my god, I'm micro-imagining, sorry.
Okay, let's do some drinking games. You happy, Louise?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to suggest a drinking game where every time that... What's the boyfriend called?
Jack.
Every time Jack closes those double doors, you take a freaking goddamn drink.
Those bedroom doors.
Those bedroom doors.
It's like, do you remember that Ego East advert from the 90s?
Yeah.
Like, Ego East, just that.
I was gonna say every time.
I mean, you will be wasted.
Every time there's a beauty shot of Christina, whether she's upset because her apartment's been broken into, or she's worrying about struggling for money, or basically every scene that she's in.
Yeah.
There's this weird, it's like a Jennifer Lopez Boy Next Door glow.
I call it the Barbra Streisand filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching that, I was thinking
John's favourite moment is when she's voguing across the street.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, when she's just walking down the street just casually voguing.
When she's learning her part.
And if you look at the people in the background,
Nobody...
they're trying their hardest
not
to laugh.
Yeah.
Just like, you look ridiculous.
So I just had drink every time Christina's an entitled bitch.
I told you we'd get to it, Ollie, didn't I?
She's such a dislikable protagonist. It's bizarre to me. But, yeah.
I also think every time the word burlesque is used, because it comes up in random...
My
Wait a
God,
minute,
yes.
I've not gone yet, and that was one of mine.
Oh.
How dare you?
Sorry.
Because drunk at a time when somebody says burlesque.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very inventive. Great.
But then also, drunk for every extra syllable that Christina adds to her singing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow, you would be wasted.
I'm going to high-five you for that one.
That is a good, yeah, very true. I just don't find it pleasant.
Who does?
It's just not pleasant to listen to, right?
So, to be fair to her, I think she can sing.
She's
the
got
only thing she goes, like, I think she does that a bit too much.
Yeah, it's an affectation.
You're right.
I feel like a lot of her singing, in this film particularly, but in general, is her being like, okay, everybody shut up and hear. Look, I've got a good voice.
Yeah. It's like, I can hit all of these
totally,
notes, I'm going to put them all in one song.
Yeah, all in one note.
All in one breath, yeah.
Which is a talent.
It is. It's just like
fair.
It's like light and shade, Christina. Light and shade. Come on, like.
There's got to be a drinking game that involves the Nikki lady.
Totally. Well, just drink for every new wig.
Yeah.
Drink for a wig.
Drink for a wig, yeah. Nick, we didn't talk about Nikki's wig. Like, Nikki was wearing a heavy, heavy wig in this film. Like,
Yeah, because she's got literally like the shortest, cutest blonde bob in real life. So you just knew that was a pile on. Like,
she had to have black hair because she's a villain.
Yeah.
And Cher literally has a different wig every single scene.
Yeah.
Like,
every
something
scene.
like
That's her, though.
that is her trademark. Yeah.
Yeah, but that could be a drinking game all on its own.
Yeah.
You would be
There
twatted.
was
You'd be twatted.
There was the Morticia wig.
Yes.
That was that one. I thought
There was
is this
curly
Addams Family?
Morticia, there was straight Morticia, there was wavy Morticia, there was beach wave Morticia. Girl, there was
Beach
many
wave
different
Morticia.
ways that Morticia wig was worn, but they were
Beach
all
wave
different. There was even
Morticia.
crimped Morticia at one point. Like,
I liked how you could really track what Cher's emotional state was by how heavy her bang was. Like when she was really like despondent, that bang was like right over her eyes. When she was a bit happier, she had a full forehead. It was great.
Because at the end, when she
True
she was like, "Oh, I don't need a glass for this," and then the bang was heavy. You're right.
Yeah.
You are spot on.
Mm-hmm. Any more?
Yes, drink for reaction shots. There's a few of them. There's one at the very end where there's Cher and Stanley Tucci. Well, Stanley Tucci is dancing, and Cher is just sort of giggling to herself, which kind of looks like an outtake.
Yeah.
But somehow made it into the final cut. I don't really know what's going on there.
Sure, yeah.
yep, fair.
There's a
lot of this film that were outtakes that you think.
The film was an extended outtake. Yeah.
They saved on the editing.
Just keep it all. Keep it all.
That's what I mean. It's a gay man who's written and directed this film, and then it's like, it's all gold, guys. Leave it all in. More wigs, more storylines.
You get a wig. You get a wig.
Yeah.
You get a wig.
Wig on the wig. Go.
The tear wig on the tear wig.
Yeah. Stanley Tucci, but I'm bald. Wig. Drink every time the film introduces a new plot line, like at a worryingly late stage. Like, like they give Stanley Tucci a love interest literally in the last 10 minutes of this film. Like,
You know what? He's like 45. He's never found his man. It's time. It's his time. He found his 25-year-old DJ. Like, you know.
That whole thing, because it was obvious, because Cocoa Puff
poor
was like, oh, he's looking at me. Oh, darling.
Yeah.
You come on. You work in Burlesque. You know he's not looking at you.
That DJ is hot.
You think so?
Keeps looking at me.
Maybe he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Really? You think?
Yeah, I think.
He's gorgeous. I think he likes me.
He is gorgeous. Wow.
Okay, so I guess this is the point where we talk about Patreon.
Yes, so we're available on patreon.com/beyondthebox. So actually, Louise, tell you what, you've listened to this so many times. Maybe you can do this.
So we're they are Beyond the Box Set, and they are available on patreon.com. You can subscribe for as little as £1 or $1 a month. Obviously, the
$2 a month.
$2 a month.
$2 a month, sorry, or like it's like what is that? £1.90 or something.
I do not know what the conversion
Whatever
rate
the
is.
conversion rate is, it's like basically about £2 a month because I do the minimum subscription myself. Hey, and the maximum is like what is it like?
15,000.
15,000, but obviously no one ever does subscribe at that amount, and they always joke about it every week. Like, but if you did, it'd be great.
It would be. It would be.
So, but for that subscription, you get bonus content. You get access to Beyond the Box Set, which is a Patreon subscribers podcast, where you get a bonus podcast a week, which is a review of a current film. It's very funny. I've listened to quite a lot of them. It's very enjoyable. Definitely worth a listen. And also you get to be part of the Beyond the Box Set Facebook page. We're a bunch of nerds who are into Beyond the Box Set, who talk shit about films, and it's very interesting and great and really fun. So basically, you should definitely subscribe to their Patreon and donate your money. I do, and it's definitely worth it. So go for it.
There is one thing you've forgotten now, which is that every week every week I make that mistake.
Yeah.
We do a 30-second advert slot for anybody who
Oh, I
wants to
beg your
advertise,
pardon, yes.
or any patron who wants to advertise anything they want to. Could be their own podcast, could be their own business. Ollie, what would you like to advertise for 30 seconds? You got 30 seconds, go.
I would like to advertise.
He's killing time.
I'm killing time because I can't think of anything.
In the past, I've had to advertise fruit, random things in John's apartment, and an occasional some personal things, whatever.
Meanwood Tip. And the reason I would advertise Meanwood Tip is because I've had to take a lot of things, and they were very, very helpful. There you go.
Recycling,
The recycling centre. Very good place.
Very good.
Excellent.
That was a real struggle.
But you could also come as a guest on the show if you subscribe as well.
Yes, that's true. You can pick a film for us to do, and if you want to join us to talk about it, you may. You don't have to. You can just tell us to talk about it if you prefer.
I'd just like to point out I was asked to come on. I didn't have to. I paid after.
Yes, you are the patron saint of Beyond the Box Set. You're our Patreon patron saint. Okay.
So all that's available on patreon.com/beyondtheboxset.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now, sequels.
Who's going first?
Why don't we go first?
Do you want to go first, Ollie?
Shall we go first?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So the way we've done this, we should probably explain, is basically Harry has worked on a sequel with Ollie, and I've worked on a sequel with Louise.
Yay!
So Harry and Ollie will now present their sequel.
Okay, now we've not got a title for this.
Good start.
But I was mainly obsessed with Natalie, Jack's girlfriend.
Sure.
And so the whole sequel is based around her.
It's her story.
Okay, so the film starts with Jack and Natalie at the airport. So this scene is about when, Natalie's in New York. So this is the scene where she actually leaves for New York.
Sure, okay.
And Natalie's looking down because she's really sad. She's going to be missing Jack, whereas he's looking other places because he's got other things on his mind, and you'll see what's happening. She's about to board the flight to go to New York City Ballet. So she's a ballerina, and
am I sensing some kind of crossover?
No.
With episode?
We were toying with the idea, but we decided not to.
Okay.
So she's not happy about leaving him, but they're going to do a long distance relationship, and the base of their relationship is she's passionate about ballet, he's passionate about music.
Sure.
But at this point, she doesn't realise there's cracks in their relationship, and that actually he's jealous that she's achieving her dreams as a ballerina while he's struggling as a musician and is basically a bartender.
Such a bitter man.
So they get to the terminal and she says, I'm really going to miss you, but this is my dream, to be offered a paid role in New York City Ballet. I couldn't turn this down, and this has been my dream. And he goes, I know, I get it. It's just hard for me to see you going away when you're achieving your dreams and I'm still chasing mine.
Oh, that's hard hitting.
You know how much I love you, how much I believe in you. You've got to believe in yourself. We'll talk every day, she says. And he goes, sure, but it's a kind of sure of not really, because Christina's coming in.
So what I'm guessing is that she's very supportive, him less so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they kiss and it fades to white.
Okay.
Okay, and now to the past. Flashback.
Ooh, okay.
So about 10 years ago.
Okay. They've been together for 10 years? Oh, sorry, continue.
They met 10 years ago.
Okay.
In Juilliard University.
Okay, sure.
Which is a place that Ollie's heard of.
Yes.
I have not.
It is like a top performing arts university in America. Now, we know that apparently he said he left some small town, whatever. I don't believe him. I think he's a liar.
Okay. How old do you think he is?
Oh, late 20s. So 10 years ago, they would have been 18.
Okay,
so
sure.
starting university.
Fair enough, yeah, sure.
Yeah, here we see where they meet. He's going to be a rebellious guy. Quite cocky. Very confident, but not too mean about it.
Okay.
Like he's still a nice guy.
Sure, yeah.
But he's top of the pack.
Sure. He's like a jock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, normally she's been sort of top dog in the group that's around there, but he's come along. He's just joined the school or whatever.
Oh, so this is Natalie. So Natalie is used to being Miss Popularity.
Yes, Natalie is number one.
Okay, and this guy's now.
And he comes in.
Okay.
Now he's number one. She's number two.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And she is not okay with this.
No, she's not. So he's a musician. She's a strict ballerina.
Oh, he's from the wrong side of the tracks.
So he's from the wrong side of the tracks, but he's never had to really work hard because he's always been the best, where
This is a Save the Last Dance
No, it's
crossover.
not.
Girl,
No.
I'm seeing some Julia Stiles right now.
We're going somewhere else with it.
Okay.
But, she's been so focused on ballet, she wants to be the best, and she's ferocious with it. And we see these two do clash, they don't get along, so that happens, and then we go back to the future.
Back to the future.
Back to the future, go back to present. So she's gone to New York. I use the word ferocious a lot. She's ferociously ambitious.
Sure.
But she's passionate about what she does, and she's got lots of friends. Mm-hmm. So she socialises with the other dancers, and she calls calls her man every day. She calls
my man.
Her man. She calls Jack every day. And in the past, when she was at Juilliard, she wouldn't have had friends because dance was everything. But since she's developed as a person, she socialises.
Okay.
So next scene, we see her at a bar. She's with her friends.
So she goes out to a bar in New York, present day.
Okay.
Or present day, 2010, whatever.
Sure.
And someone takes notice of her. Someone we're casting as Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
Because he's not been in much recently. He looks at her from his corporate life and sees this woman who is the embodiment of free, and this is the woman of his dreams.
Okay.
So he escapes from his boring life, and he goes over to her, talks to her, and says, I sort of noticed you over here, and I want to talk to you. And she's like, oh, cool, what's your name? And he's like, James. And she's like, okay. What do you do, James? And, well, ultimately she finds him a bit boring, but she does see something that she can't quite put her finger on.
Okay.
Which is the same sort
You
of
and me
passion.
both, babe.
Same sort of passion she saw in Jack when he spoke about his own music.
Okay.
Jack being the guy from Burlesque.
Sure. Oh, so she senses that he's also some kind of creative spirit.
Yeah, something like that. So, similar sort of feeling that she's got right there.
Okay.
And then flashback again. Ollie.
Okay. So, at this point, they've been in Juilliard for, let's say, a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And they're working on a project. So think of, the film Fame. Think of that. So different people work together. So in this project, they're working together. He's playing music and she's doing a solo piece to his music.
Right.
So she's dancing to his music. Now, normally she does choreography. She never dances outside of what she's told to dance. But because of Jack's music, she starts freestyling, and she's never freestyled before. And so she's doing whatever she wants. And then Jack sees her and thinks that she's trying to upstage him or being competitive, because she's always competitive. So he starts playing even more complicatedly. And then all of a sudden she stops and she sort of runs off. Okay. So he thinks it's like, oh, I upstaged you. Of course you're not happy, da-da-da. But actually, she's never been free.
Sure.
So she's flustered by this and runs off. And this is when we have a flash forward.
Mm-hmm. So she's performing at New York City Ballet. James comes to her. So James is the person she just met in New York.
Sure.
But this is still a few years before the events of Burlesque.
Right, okay. This film's jumping back and forward, all kinds of... It's worse than Memento. It's like...
Yep. It's a bit like you've watched Blue Valentine.
Yes.
That was the kind of premise of it.
So her friends are saying that she's spending way too much time with James.
James is Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
yes.
So she says he's interesting, he's so passionate about what he does. And another friend goes, what about Jack? What does he think about your new friend?
And the friend's like, well, if I was Jack, I wouldn't be happy about this. So tonight, she's going to talk to James about boundaries. Because there's a bit too much going on there. But before she manages to say that to him, he says that he's moving to Russia because he's having a promotion at work.
So Robert Pattinson's moving to Russia?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't ask us why we picked Russia.
Sure.
It's a long way away.
It's just...
They do love the ballet there, so yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
There we go.
So she's a little heartbroken by this, and this makes her realise how she feels about James and how she's confused. So at the same time, this is when she was supposed to be at the wedding.
Right, so...
Sure.
So she then calls Jack because she wants to talk it out. She's confused. She wants to know what's happening with their relationship. Jack flies off the handle and she's left confused. So when he's like, oh, maybe I'm looking at my future, all of that, she's on the other end of the line, like, what's going on?
Oh, she's at her most vulnerable and he wasn't there for her.
Yeah. And also this has been going on. So she decides, right, I'm going to go back and sort it out. She arrives and Jack's in bed with this thing.
This thing.
So she flies off the handle. Who's this? You told me it was a friend. So it all ties into Burlesque with what was going on. She ends up leaving him. She goes back to New York and wants to try and make it work with James.
She should be going to Moscow, surely, then.
No, but he hadn't left yet.
He hasn't left
goes
yet.
back.
Okay, fine.
And then James says, the other reason I was going to Russia is because my ex-girlfriend lives there and she wants to make another go of it, and so do I. And we leave that relationship there. We don't know how he ever really felt about her.
Okay.
But we like the ballerina thing in the sense that maybe there were feelings there.
Okay.
The film ends with Natalie getting called into the office at New York City Ballet, and basically because of her passion, they're promoting her to principal dancer.
Is she going to be in Swan Lake?
We don't know. But you see a tear in her eye and a smile.
Oh, well, I'm glad she gets
So the whole thing is about her relationship with ballet. And actually, it's her passion that's driven her. And even though the other relationships haven't worked out, her relationship with ballet is
She's going to be okay.
She's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't need a man to complete her.
Exactly.
Good for Natalie.
Because I stand by it. I think Jack is a creep.
He is a creep.
And I think Natalie was a nice lady who comes home and her man's with this thing.
Yeah, he did her wrong. He did her wrong.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm doing some severe side-eye at this point.
I like that you answered what the play was that Natalie was in, because that was something that I did find myself wondering, like watching the original film. I like to think she was in like Cats or something. I like the idea of like all this is going on and then like, you just smash cut to Natalie like Jellicle cats.
Also, I thought the same thing as you when Stanley Tucci was like, "Oh, she's me." It's like, well, she hasn't done anything wrong.
Exactly. She's so unfairly maligned. Yeah, like.
Well, she's working.
Literally not been in the film. Like.
Yeah.
And also, what's he doing? He keeps talking about this music. Where is it?
Yeah. Oh, he's just playing his little keytar-y thing.
So we're ready.
Oh, all right. I get the sense that Louise is ready to move on to our seat course. So,
okay.
But very good. Enjoyed that a lot. I think that's got a lot of potential there. I like it.
Any ideas for a name for it, though?
Oh, good point.
Because we struggled.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So it's a ballet. I feel like there's definitely elements of Fame in there that you've worked on.
Yeah. I did draw on Fame a bit.
Yeah, so... Burlesque, Take Your Passion.
I thought of something like that.
Burlesque 2, Take Your Passion.
Burlesque 2.
Burlesque 2, Take Your Passion.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. We couldn't think of anything
Let's
better.
do it, yeah.
Sure. Okay, cool. In cinemas soon.
Or not.
Louise.
Thanks.
You've really set the bar high for ours now with those bitchy comments.
Better be good.
I do not subscribe to this negativity from this, emanating from this side of the room. Okay, so
No comment.
So we've done a direct sequel, and ours has a title. We've decided to call it. Well, we had a lot of time to think of one.
Yeah, girl.
So ours is called Burlesque 2: Season of the Bitch.
Oh God. Okay.
And much like yours, it's kind of based on the idea that Christina Aguilera is a terrible character in this film. Not a very nice person. So yeah, we pick up after the events of the first film. The club has been saved.
Yep.
Tess and Ali, Christina and Cher, are, the best of friends. Christina's now the star turn, but Nikki, as in Kristen Bell, is still a bit of a loose cannon. She's still getting drunk and turning up late and just being messy. Because Cher and her, they grew up together, same generation. So they're still, she's still getting a bit of a free pass. Anyway, so one day Nikki goes on stage to do one of her lip sync numbers. It's a big dramatic showpiece. She's dancing and gesticulating, and just as she's about to she's a lip syncer, she's not singing, but just as she's about to hit this big dramatic show-stopping note in her performance, she vomits all over the crowd.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then she falls down face first. She dead.
She dead.
She gone.
And Cher blurts out, "You stupid bitch!" And then comes on stage to rouse her, and she's like, "Oh my God, she's dead!"
So Cher is very, very upset. Not that you can tell, but she's crying on the inside.
Facial expression is the same all the way through.
So Kristen Bell has passed away.
Wow. You always are killing someone.
Yeah, so under mysterious circumstances.
Yes, under mysterious circumstances.
Christina did it.
Somebody. Well, let's not jump.
Please.
Let's not.
Hold your horse.
Yeah, hold your horses. That's the phrase I was going for. So yeah, so it's very
Been told.
So it's all very sad, but people assume that maybe she just accidentally overdosed or whatever. So then they continue the show.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. But then a few nights later, Alan Cumming is on stage doing his number, doing his smelly vagina number. And a lighting rig falls from above and crushes his head, and he also is dead.
Oh dear.
So it's starting to become a bit of a pattern now.
Stanley Tucci, he dies under mysterious circumstances.
Can't kill the Tooch.
He's lifting some shoe boxes and they all fall on him.
Some shoe boxes.
I'm assuming they got.
Sorry, what's in these shoe boxes?
Bricks.
As you can imagine,
Lead.
the cast of Burlesque, or the dancers of Burlesque, are getting increasingly worried about this rate of deaths and if whether any of them, like Coco, or etc., are about to be next.
As the show continues over the next few weeks, people just keep dying. Obviously not Cher, not Christina, but the supporting cast, all the other dancers, you know, like Coco, Georgia, contact lens lady.
Yeah, the one that's like, Tess, I've lost my contact lens.
Oh,
I can't go on stage.
The one who looks like Anastasia dressed as Shakira.
Most random comment ever.
It's true.
No, the contact. I've lost my contact lens.
Yeah.
So
That is the most random thing
well.
to say ever.
Yeah. So basically, how
In what space of time?
over the like this film, time is like it's a circle in this film.
It's basically the same as Burlesque.
Yes.
Time is meaningless.
Time is meaningless.
But that's why sort of suspicion mounts upon Tess, because it's like it's her club. Why are all these people that work for the club
starting
dying?
to die. But like, how would you think a burlesque dancer might die in like a creative way?
Yeah, this is what we wanted to ask you. So the ones that are left, like, how do they
We've
die?
had an onstage overdose. We've had a lighting rig fall on someone's head.
Like when someone goes up on the cables and fly around like Pink.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
like
Cable
that.
snaps
Sure,
they fall,
yeah.
yeah.
Something like that.
A bit of a Batman Forever moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
There's got to be someone who dies in the splits as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was just thinking the same.
Yeah.
What a way to go. Oh, God. Any more?
Maybe they do a split, but they don't realise that there's a prop right there where they're about to land.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Even worse.
Cuts them in half.
girl.
Cuts them in half.
Shoe in the eye. There's got to be a shoe in the eye.
Ooh.
Shoe in the
High
eye.
heel
Oh my
in the
God.
eye.
A heel
Yeah.
through the face, yeah. So, long story short, yeah, the dancer, the cast is just getting thinned down.
Butchered.
Yeah. So as this continues, Cher, Tess is trying to keep it quiet because she doesn't want bad publicity to come back into the club. So she's trying to hush all this up and carry on. The show must go on. The show must go on, etc. And this is starting to make the other girls very suspicious because they're like, "Oh, what if she's in on this?" Because it kind of feels like she's really pally with Christina now, and suddenly all of the other girls are getting killed off. Ali. Also, the boyfriend Jack, who's still with Christina, Ali, he's getting very concerned and overprotective, and he's telling Christina she needs to quit the show. He's trying to turn her against Tess. He's kind of saying, you know, clearly she's part of this. You've got to you
Break it off.
You've got to break it off. Get away from this while you're still alive. Okay. At this point, if it's not already obvious, this entire sequel is shamelessly ripping off the Scream franchise. So we might have like a Gail Weathers style journalist come in and like be investigating the club.
Just have Gail Weathers come in.
Yeah, it could just be Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers. Yeah. But Cher's trying to keep it all quiet. Anyway, all of the dancers end up dead. So after a certain point, it's just a one-woman show. It's just Christina's show now because all the other dancers have been killed.
And people are still coming to the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, it's good. There's no such thing as bad publicity. Right?
There wasn't much that made sense in Burlesque, so this is fine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, and we're thinking, like, have you've seen Scream, right?
Yes, I have.
Have you seen Scream now?
No.
Well, in these kind of horror films, there's always a red herring. So we're thinking the boyfriend is going to be the red herring. So you're going to think that he's obviously the one who's actually engineering all this because
he hates Tess.
he's turning.
Doesn't want the girlfriend
Ali
to
gets
work there
Tess.
anymore.
Yeah. So you think he's got to be the killer, but then shocker, he turns up dead.
Nah, he's dead. He died.
He is found.
How's he killed?
I feel like he's found naked, hanging from those damn double doors.
Oh my God, I was trying to say
With
those
that,
to my daughter.
with that cereal
With
box
the
stuffed in his
cereal
mouth.
box, yeah, the cereal
Right,
box.
they slam right on his head. Yeah.
It's not pretty. Christina recovers quickly, decides to continue performing because she's a showgirl. She's a showgirl.
Yeah.
So one night, Christina is rehearsing for her new one-woman show. Now that all the dancers are dead, Cher is helping her to work through her routine. And so they're doing the rehearsals, and then Cher hears a strange noise in the background, and she decides to go and investigate. So Cher grabs a torch and does that thing that all horror movie women do.
Oh my God! It was you!
Oh yes, so Cher walks into her dressing room and reacts to somebody. She's like, "Oh my God! It was you!" I felt you were less committed that time, but okay.
Sorry.
But we don't see what Cher sees. But then we do see somebody from behind Cher push a giant crate full of wigs onto her head. And then we see just Cher like, no! And being crushed by a giant box of wigs.
Oh dear God.
She screams, cuts to black.
So the wigs have fallen on her head.
The wigs of Cher has been crushed to death by her own wigs, as far as we know.
Wow.
Yeah, hundreds of them, because you've got to imagine there's one for every scene change. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of wigs. It's a
lot of wigs.
We're thinking, like, what would be a fitting way for Cher to die? You know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
it would have to be her wigs, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I think she'd be okay with that.
As far as you're aware,
Cher has passed.
she did.
Okay, so who's still alive?
Christina. So Christina's still on stage rehearsing.
So the question is still like,
So,
who done it?
Christina's doing a one-woman show at this point.
Yeah.
So...
She doesn't know that Cher is dead. She's still rehearsing, so she's on stage on her own, doing her whole thing. Maybe DJ Chris is up in the wings doing the music. She's working out her choreography, and suddenly two mysterious dancers come on from the wings and start dancing alongside her. Mm-hmm. And it seems suspicious. She's not been aware of this, but the cast has been kind of thin at them since all the murders. So she's like, oh, maybe Tess has found some people to fill in at the last minute. So she kind of, she carries on. She's in the moment. She keeps dancing, and the two dancers are dancing alongside her. But there's something a bit off about them. Like, neither of them seem to be particularly good dancers. One of them is 6'2" and seems strangely mannish. But she's determined to finish the routine, so she's doing her whole thing. And just as she's about to nail her 5th consecutive key change, the two mysterious master dancers start throttling her with a pearl necklace. So they're throttling her, she's struggling to breathe, it looks like all is lost, but she's pulling and choking, and just before she blacks out, she manages to rip the necklace apart, sending beads flying across the stage. The two master dancers trip up on all the beads, fall down, their wigs fall off, they are revealed. They stand up again, and it is Marcus, the property developer, and Natalie, Jack's star. Because there's always two in Scream movies, there's always two killers. So she's like, it was you? And then they reveal, then we get some flashback and they reveal their evil scheme. So as it turns out, they met at George's wedding and they ended up getting together and they bonded over their shared hatred of Ali and Tess, who ruined their lives. Because, you know, Tess foiled his plans to get air rights.
She wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
For even the millions that he offered her.
Yeah. Ali stole Natalie's man, you know.
And Ali still wouldn't be with Marcus, even though he's like a multi-millionaire property developer.
Yeah. So they became hell-bent on revenge. So they pull out their guns. They've got concealed guns somewhere in their suits. God. And they point them at Christina, and they're about to pull the trigger and kill her, completing their evil scheme. And just before they pull the trigger, 2 consecutive gunshots hit them both in the backs of the heads from behind. They both fall down dead. And then Cher steps into the limelight before she has survived. Because there's always somebody you think is dead, and it's like, nope.
Bang, bang, bitch! I shot you down!
And yeah, Cher shoots them both dead. And her and Christina hug and cry, and the credits roll as they finally duet in a fabulous survival song and dance number.
Yeah, as Bang Bang, I Shoot You Down.
But with Burlesque crowbarred in.
Yeah.
Bang bang, I shot you down.
I shot you down. Burlesque. I shot you down. Yeah.
And that is the end of Burlesque 2, Season of the Bitch.
That's very different from ours.
Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell.
Blood being
so
the
it basically
word.
started. That all came from us deciding to just do, because there's so many characters in the original film. We were like, so let's just do a horror movie. Let's just rip off Scream.
Because there's a lot of people to kill.
One thing I forgot to do before we actually went into sequels.
Oh no.
Was what if we would cast the Friends cast? As,
yes, our new section.
Is this?
So we're having a new section now. It's called Friends Cast. So if we were to remake this film with the cast of Friends in the main roles, which actor will play which part?
Well, Phoebe will play Cher.
No.
Jennifer Aniston would play Ali.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
100%.
Courtney Cox basically has turned herself into Cher.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to say it, but
yeah, they look
By
the
the
same
way,
now.
you can gender swap.
Yeah,
that's fine. You want Ross's Cher? That's fine.
No, I think Ross is Marcus.
God, this is complicated.
I think Ross is Marcus.
I feel like Ross might be.
No,
Stanley
Joey's
Tucci.
Marcus.
Joey is
No.
Joey is the boyfriend. The
Joey
fucking-
could be the boyfriend. Stanley Tucci is Joey. Sorry, Chandler. What am I talking about? Chandler.
Yes, no Tucci,
Chandler is the
yeah.
Tooch.
Okay, sure.
Easy.
Well, I was thinking that
Then Ross
maybe
is Mark,
Chandler,
well, that'd be
maybe Chandler
Marcus.
could be Jack though, because it'd be like because everyone assumes he's gay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you've got equality.
Yeah. Fair.
But no, I that being said, I think
Phoebe?
Chandler is.
She can be Coco Puff.
No, I thought that Phoebe would be Cher.
No, Monica's got to be Cher.
Yeah, because Monica's always stealing the.
I thought Monica
limelight.
would be Nikki. Bitchy and a control freak. I'm sorry, but I thought like.
You make a good point. Yeah.
I think that Phoebe would be Cher because she's like a free spirit. She cares about her club. She doesn't want to sell it for $1 million fucking dollars. That's so Phoebe.
Also, she can make up songs on the spot.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Okay.
But would she wear that leotard?
I'm putting my hands up and
Absolutely.
I'm resting my case,
Yeah.
listeners.
Okay, so Lisa Kudrow is now playing the Cher.
So
role.
who's Monica?
Monica can be Nikki. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like a younger version of Cher.
Yeah,
one-
okay,
which
she's
one
not
is
a
Kristen
mess
Bell?
and she's not a drug addict like Monica, but she is a control freak and Nikki is a control freak. Like, she's like,
So
we're
Jennifer
friends.
Aniston is Ali. David Schwimmer is evil property developer. Did we say?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And Chandler's the Tooch, and Joey's the boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that went. That was pretty smooth.
That wraps
Simple.
that up.
Nice.
Glad we
Very
got
good.
that sorted.
Excellent. So, should we get to listener submissions?
Better not.
Okay, cool. So
Please.
these were our listener submissions this week. What's Harry's drinking game this time? There's not much of a thread this time actually. I guess drink for high concept sequel ideas maybe.
Okay.
People struggled. So Ollie Brady said Burlesque XXL. It's a Getting the Band Back Together movie in which the performers from the first movie... Oh, actually, I don't like this. I'm not happy because basically Ollie Brady's idea is a Get the Band Back Together sequel in which the entire cast reunites for Cher's funeral.
Oh.
I'm like, no. You don't
Fuck
kill...
you, bitch.
You do not kill Cher. Cher is ageless and immortal.
No, you do not
depending on
kill
where they
Cher.
go-
I'm really sorry, that's vetoed.
Depending on where they go, I love it.
Well, it's a road trip movie, so they go on a road trip
if they
celebrating
bring
their
I
life.
her
don't give a
back
shit.
at the end and some kind of twist.
Oh, okay, yeah, they get...
Oh, she's not dead.
Back. She's not an alien.
It's a fake
Well, she is
funeral.
an alien, but in this, she's not an alien.
I reckon the club's out of money again, so she fakes her death, and then they raise
get the
money.
insurance,
They get
yes,
the insurance, and then
okay.
yeah.
Okay, I like that, yeah. And it's a road trip celebrating Cher's life. So, okay. I'll buy it. Okay. Will Means said, Mamma Mia, here we burlesque again. The crossover no one saw coming, but everyone knew was inevitable.
Yeah,
Right.
fair.
Dennis Fanning said, Burlesquire. It's a hard-hitting legal drama that definitely has a song and dance number called Pro Bono.
Oh my god.
At one...
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. At one Aussie nerd just said Chicago. Chicago is the sequel, so as in the film Chicago. Blokebusters did a TV movie called Too Burlesque for TV. False Starts podcast.
Surely it should have been called Too Burlesque 2 TV.
No, sorry, it's Too Burlesque for TV. It is a number 2 though. It is a number 2. So
Okay, well, I feel like you're halfway there, but you missed a big opportunity.
yeah.
So,
False Starts podcast at False Starts Pod said let's gender swap it. Oh wait, now it's just Magic Mike.
fair.
Yeah. And finally, Best Mark Miller said, it's kind of a conceptual sequel where they switch over to only dancing to tracks by the famous banjoist Burl Ives and dress as Burl Ives characters. So it's going to be called Burlesque 2, more Burl-esque. That was a long walk to a mediocre
I
joke.
kind of got there.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll take a drink to that.
Fair enough. We'll throw you a pissy drink. Mm-hmm. Or Harry will throw you a pissy drink. And those are our sequel ideas for Burlesque. So thank you guys. Thanks for contributing those. That was very interesting. So, if you have any sequel ideas for Burlesque, please let us know. We are Beyond the Box Set. You can find us at beyondtheboxset.com. Our podcast is available on all good podcasting platforms, including iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, Acast. You name it, we're on it. If we're not, then let us know and we will get on it. You can also find the show at beyondtheboxset.com, and our social media handles are, we are on Beyond the Box Set on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and our Patreon is patreon.com/beyondtheboxset. I feel like I rambled that, but I'm not going to repeat it because I can't be bothered.
Sure.
You did pretty well.
Yeah.
Louise and Ollie, do you have anything you want to plug on the podcast?
So my boyfriend's in a band and they're really good. They're a pop punk band called Eat Defeat, and you can find their album I Think Will Be Okay on iTunes and also Spotify and all other good streaming platforms.
Cool. Ollie.
I have absolutely nothing.
Oh.
But why don't you promote yourselves some more? Because I think this is great.
Cool. Okay. Well, actually, I forgot to mention. So I have another podcast that I'm a part of called Two Geeks, Two Movies, with long-running guest on this show, in fact, Ross Burton. And each episode we compare two movies that have some kind of similarity. Our latest episode, which was out recently, is Batman versus Batman Begins. That's the Batman 1989 versus obviously the Batman 2005 or 6 Batman. Comparing similarities between those two films. In my opinion, not that many, but Ross made the decision for me as to which episode it was going to be. So, yeah, it's actually, it's a good episode. And John, I believe you've heard it already?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I did actually educate Ross on some Spice Girls knowledge.
I was very proud. Harry was dropping Spice Girls stats left, right and centre. I felt like my work was done.
And I'd like to just really quickly say thank you.
That was Two Geeks, Two Movies on all good podcasting platforms.
Sorry. As I say, thank you very much for having us on the podcast. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, thank you for coming, both of you. It's been great.
I second that. Thank you.
Guys, always welcome. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great to have you both on.
Thank you.
And I think as a two-guest episode, the first ever two-guest episode, I think it's worked well.
Let's see how the edit works out.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I've got a long week ahead of me.
Sorry, John.
No, it's not your fault. Anyway, so next week we have another guest on. We have a Patreon episode coming up. So our good friend Mike Burson from Genuine Chit Chat is going to join us, and he's chosen the film. And the film he has chosen for us to discuss is The Big Lebowski.
Oh, that is a good film.
Oh my god.
A very good film. So I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Good grief.
Not a fan?
This is a whole lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. It's going to be a good one. So yeah, join us next week for The Big Lebowski. Thank you again, Ollie.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Louise.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Harry. Always weird.
You're welcome.
And yeah, join us next week for The Big Lebowski. Thanks guys.
See you next week, guys. Bye.
Woo! It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's in the can, Pete. It's in the can.
Let's go beyond the box set.
Wagon wheel Watusi.